Okay, basically, these are the rules. On that first page I gave you, it says, the goal of the class to help you discover or confirm a fruitful and fulfilling place of ministry. Then it talks about the process. Today, spiritual gifts. Okay, now here, this is the thing with this test, guys. There are so many questions that if you have to sit and think about it, I mean, we're going to be here till Jesus comes back. So this is the rule. Look at it and just go with your gut, okay? For one, you don't want to kind of like look at it and say, I wish this was me, and answer that way. No, you just have to be honest. I mean, you don't have to be, but if you want it to work, it has to be. All right? Direction 1 on this test thing, you probably are going to want to rip this off of here because this is your scoring chart that you're going to need for every question. You'll read the sentence. So many questions. Alright, we're just going to use number 1 as an example. I can coordinate people, tasks, and events to meet a need. You're going to look at that and you're going to give it a score based on what you think. 3 is this is consistently and definitely true. 2, most of the time, usually true. 1, some of the time, once in a while. And 0, never, not at all. So like for me, like the crafting, building things out of wood, never, not at all. Julie, that's going to be a 3, you know? Important. Answer according to who you are, not who you would like to be, or who you think you should be. That's kind of what I was saying before. How true of you right now are these statements? What has been your experience, and to what degree do these statements reflect your tendencies? When you've completed this thing, then you add each column and you record the total above the letter. So like when you get done, you're going to add 1, 20, 39, 58, 77, 96, 115, and you're going to write that total right in front of A. When you're done, you can come up here and I'll give you the answer key. I didn't want to give it to you ahead of time because that kind of influences the way you answer too. Because you're like, oh, this is the building 1, 3, you know, like. So that way you don't even know really what you're answering, you're just going crazy. Alright? So feel free to spread out. I know, like, don't feel bad if this takes a while. It does really take about 20 to 30 minutes to read through and do, and then we will process when you're done.
Okay. Mine were pretty affirming. I had 3 20s for my highest, and they were encouragement, hospitality, and mercy. And at first I got mercy confused with grace. But it's all good now.
We want it to be great.
Well, I think, like, I'm saying, like, if somebody were to wrong me, I wouldn't be like, oh, it's okay, like, we're best friends. I think, you know, it takes me a while to be like, okay, like, I guess I'm not quite like God, give me grace, like, oh, come on, it's fine. So I guess I was confused with that, but absolutely mercy. But I was telling Amy and Kara that it was actually kind of, as I was going through this, I was feeling convicted in a sense as like, well, I'm always trusting God for other people. Like, I'm always like, you know, God is this, God is this, God is this, like, He's love, He's merciful, like, He will do anything for you, like, blah, 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 like, just encouraging and loving people. But when the questions were like, how's your trust in God, like, in prayer, like, is God immediately, do you have complete faith that God's immediately answering your prayers? And, like, just those questions are just like, wow, because they're ones. And I think God's just really kind of convicted and showed me that, like, I do have a lack of faith at times and a lack of trust of just His power. And maybe it's not for other people's lives, but it's for my life. And I guess, like Amy was saying, is I see the barriers that are in my life, or I see just the things that are wrong in my life, and I think, oh, God can't. He can't look past that, or He won't fix that. I mean, that's not really what's going through my head, but just as, you know, I'm just like, oh God, is God really going to heal this part? Or is God really going to show me the next step? Like, and so it kind of just was convicting as like, it was good, but I really need to grow in my faith in God. Just like I have faith in everybody that walks in this door, that God can touch their lives, I have to have that same faith that every day God can touch my life and answer my prayers. So that was kind of cool.
That's cool. Anybody else have something that really stuck out to them, really surprised them, or disappointed them? Made them excited?
I think I was confused because I got word of knowledge for a while and I had to like look it up to find out what that was. And also I'm confused because I'm not sure how that's a gift to everybody else. It looks like it's just a gift to me. So I'm a little confused. That's okay.
Anybody else? I was kind of disappointed when I was like scoring really high in all of these categories that are things that to me I feel like are just boring. Administrative, behind those scenes kind of stuff. I'm like, I want an exciting one, like speaking creatively or something like that. And that just was not happening. I was like one in that. But it really gave me a lot of freedom though. Like I did this probably about a year ago. And then I just felt free because before I'd feel like frustrated, like why am I not good at this? Why can I not do this? Everyone else can do this but me. That's what it feels like, you know, when you're looking at it. And I just thought, man, that's not what God gave me, and this is what He gave me. So I need to use these things for Him and see them as a ministry, not just like tasks.
I think I'm looking at my highest scores and then looking at my lowest scores. I kind of surprised myself a little bit, and it's like, I think being a perfectionist is something that you know, I've suffered with, and it's like, I was telling George, it's like, I want to be good at everything. And if I have a low category, I say, I'm going to work harder at that one. You know, it's like, and then I was thinking, though, you know, by knowing what my main gifts are, maybe I should be concentrating more on them. Because by trying to do better at things I'm not real well gifted at, I may be taking away from my gifted spots.
True. That's a very hard point for a lot of us to swallow. Let them go, let someone else do them.
I've noticed too, like, I think some gifts can probably improve because, like, I've known some of my scores might be like half what they were probably a year ago. Through research, like I would say for me category probably double this last year, but it, you know, that was kind of amazing because, like, I know gifts aren't set permanently in stone, like that's what they are. You know?
Right.
So I'm not saying, yeah, you can improve, but there might not be, you know, God's wanting you to improve that particular score. I know somebody got really low, and I'm like, well, that's probably should have been low. I don't really put God calling that, so if they're that low, they're that low.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
right.
just stuff like that.
Like as we mature in Christ, then those gifts are maturing